Hello everybody and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden and today we have a fun video coming at you. We are going to be reviewing two High West Double Rye products that are both finished in two different barrels. One of them is High West Double Rye finished in Manhattan barrels. And the other one is High West Double Rye finished in Fume Blanc barrels. Now this Fume Blanc barrel finished double rye was sent to me by the one and only Sugar Kitty, which if you guys are on the whiskey tube, you definitely know who Sugar Kitty is, but he sent this over to me and I put in a blind flight on my live stream not too long ago, but I also told him that I would be comparing it head on head against my double rye, which was finished in Manhattan barrels. These double rye finishes make for some very interesting whiskeys, and there's just a lot of weird things going on with them, and it's just unique experience. So me and him both thought that comparing these two would just be a really fun adventure. So that being said, I'm gonna pour this High West Manhattan barrel finished into the first glass. I'm not gonna do this blind because, quite frankly, I did that on the live stream. I don't need to do it again, but for you guys to know, this is 50.4% alcohol. It is finished in Manhattan barrels for 11 months, and it is High West Double Rye. And the one from Sugar Kitty, all I have for information is 49.4%, so just like a little bit less proof on this one, and it's finished in Fume Blanc barrels, also a double rye. So we're going to be pouring that into the second glass here. And now we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of A-B comparison. I'm going to smell and taste the Manhattan barrel finished one, and then I'm going to smell and taste the Fume Blanc finished. And we're going to start with the Manhattan finish right away on the nose. Okay, so right away on the nose, the Manhattan barrel finished one definitely has a lot of those herbal notes, a lot of those like black tea, eucalyptus type notes. One thing I'm noticing is there's a very perfumey smell on this one. That typical High West Double Rye dill, I'm not getting as much in this one. It might be there a little bit, but it's buried deep down under layers of this Manhattan finish. I want to say there's a bit of that cherry note coming through there. You can definitely tell that there's some sweet vermouth in here as well. It has kind of like a musty, almost like dark, that vermouthy flavor is in there. But yeah, it's overall pretty pleasant. I really like this one. It's just very interesting. Not a whole ton of oak, but the oak presence is there. It is finished in a second barrel, even though it's a used barrel. I want to say maybe just a little bit of sweet caramel, but overall, really dark notes in this one, really herbaceous and floral, and that not a whole lot of fruity and like candy sweetness in there. Definitely not any of like the brown sugar, not a whole lot of caramel. So we're gonna get it on the palate and let you guys know how great that is. So right away, eucalyptus, obviously going to be there. It almost feels a little bit hotter on the palate. It has that sweeter kind of florally aspect on the palate a lot, which is something I don't love a whole lot of floralness in my whiskey, but it does help sometimes make a whiskey evolve and make it kind of change compared to what you would normally be drinking. We're going to go in again and get some more notes for you guys. On this one, I want to say I almost got like a little bit of a honey note in this, almost like there's honey in that tea. So yeah, I would say some honey tea, honey black tea, maybe a little bit of green tea, but overall darker notes, kind of that definitely tell it's in a Manhattan barrel. But overall pretty good. So now I'm going to get into the double rye finished in Fume Blanc barrels, but before I do that, I have to cleanse my palate, which means that this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to listen to a message from today's sponsor. Hey guys, so the sponsor of today's video is Wrist Mafia, and I gotta tell you, I was about to go golfing, but I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to stop in and tell you guys about a little company called Wrist Mafia. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Wrist Mafia is a subscription-based company where every month you pay $40 and you get a box sent to your door containing one fancy-ass wristwatch. It's honestly like some of the best watches that your money can buy. It's $40 for a box, and every watch in the boxes are worth $100 or more. So I'm about to go golfing and I have this dark blue shirt on, and so I'm about to wear this watch from Laker & Sons, which is a very nice deep blue watch with a rubber athletic type band. And for golf, it's a perfect watch because it matches this shirt perfectly, and it also has a comfortable athletic band that will keep it perfect for my golf game. That being said, I love showing off to the guys at the golf course and telling them all about my favorite company, Wrist Mafia. But if you guys are interested, look in the description below. I have a link to their website, and you can use the code BourbonBar, all caps, all one word, at the checkout for 30% off. And ladies, if you're looking for a present for your man coming up for their birthday or maybe even Christmas down the line, this is a perfect thing to get them because you can get 3-month or 6-month subscription packages already prepaid where you buy the package and you put in your boyfriend's address and you get a watch shipped to their address every month for the next 3 to 6 months. And that will be a sure way to have your boyfriend step up his style. So that being said, go check out Wrist Mafia and join the Mafia today. Alright, thank you future Holden, and good luck on your golf outing. Now we're going to get back into this. I've cleansed my palate and I'm ready to taste the Fume Blanc finished High West Double Rye, starting on the nose. First thing I'm noticing, lighter. So much lighter. I almost want to say there's a little bit of a grape note in this. A little bit of a lemon zest, almost like lemon rind. Not like overly juicy lemons, but it has a little bit of that like lemon, maybe some honey in there as well. Definitely has that like eucalyptus-y notes in there, but it's not overly floral the way that one was. This one had a lot more of like a floral, herbaceous type nose, whereas this one's kind of more on the like light fruit, sweeter side of the herbs. So I would still stick with like a little bit of a black tea note, but I would put more toward the sweeter side of it. Grapes, green grapes to be exact, kind of like maybe a pear, honey, lemon type, citrus type notes in this one. It is really interesting. You could just sit here and dissect these two whiskeys for a long time because there's just so much going on with them, being like ryes finished in barrels that are like just completely random barrels, which I think is really, really cool, especially that they're doing experiments with this. Very cool. I want to say that caramel sweetness is a little bit there on this one too, maybe even more here on this one than there is on this one. It's not, like I said, overly sweet with that like desserty kind of sweetness, but it definitely has a little bit of caramel in there. It does feel like a little bit of a less oak impact compared to the Manhattan barrel finished one, but that could just be because it's a lighter type style of whiskey. One note that I got in this whiskey in the live stream, which isn't a bad note at all, but I think I said that this has kind of like a bug spray type nose to it. It smells like bug spray, but this is, I'm talking about the high-end bug spray that's literally just like lemon, honey, citrus, like herbaceous type, maybe a little bit of menthol as well in the honey. So that's kind of all like a bug spray for me, but for you guys it could just be citrus, honey, and mint or menthol or something like that. But it all comes together, those couple notes come together, kind of form a bug spray for me, which isn't a bad thing. I actually really enjoy the nose of this one, maybe even better than this one. But we're going to get this one on the palate and let you guys know how it is. Okay, right away, lighter. Does have a little bit of that light fruit note, like I was saying, on the nose. Maybe kind of more into like the pear category here. That citrus is still there. It almost falls more into like juice type, citrusy juice on the palate. Less potent, I would say, than the nose. Kind of has like a sticky, tacky mouthfeel. Definitely a decent proof. I mean, these are both around 100 proof, so that's a really good proof range for these ryes to be at. Offers a lot of flavor, but it definitely doesn't feel like I'm drinking water. It actually has some substance to it, which is something that I've noticed on both of them. That is really nice. Honey notes there. Definitely sweeter, like honey. The oak came to play a little bit on the palate, almost kind of like saps my mouth a little bit. Not over oaky or anything like that, but just like it makes my mouth feel a certain way. And I haven't had any whiskey yet today. In fact, it is only 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so you know how it is. You got to start sometime. But that being said, that's really good. Now I'm going to do a quick A-B comparison, see which one of these two I like better, and then yeah, let you know my grades for each of them. Okay, so after opening up a little bit, I'd say glass A kind of got more of a caramel and graham crackery sweetness. Has a little bit more of that sweetness, that desserty sweetness that I was saying it didn't have earlier. Still has all those other typical notes, but definitely add in some caramel and brown sugar. Whereas the Fume Blanc barrels kind of stays right around that like light fruit, interesting bug spray type nose for me. Either way, they're both fantastic, but I think on the nose, I'm going to have to go with Manhattan Barrel Finish. Now I'm going to A-B the palate and let you guys know which one is better. Alright, you guys, so I've come down to a final decision. On the palate, while it was a very close race, I think that the Manhattan Barrel just kind of fits my palate a little bit more. I personally, when I'm drinking whiskey, rye, bourbon, whatever it happens to be, I personally tend to gravitate toward those darker, dessertier, kind of just like earthier notes, whereas the lighter stuff, the herbal and light fruit and that kind of stuff, it's kind of more of a mood thing for me. So I really am going to have to give the edge to the Manhattan Barrel Finish Double Rye. Both of them, like I said, are fantastic, but Double Rye, Manhattan Barrel Finish is going to win this. Now, what would I give these a grade out of 10? Now, before I tell you guys a winner, I'm going to ask you to please leave a comment in the comment section. What's your favorite High West Double Rye finish? Because there's a lot of Double Rye finishes out there, and they're all really fantastic. So I'd be very interested to see in the unique ones that you guys say you like. So let me know. Well, honestly, I would give the Double Rye Manhattan Barrel Finish an 8.3 out of 10 because while it's good, it's definitely not S tier whiskey. However, it still is really good, especially for a rye, and for the price, you almost can't beat it. If you guys see a bottle of any kind of finished High West, I suggest just picking it up. But for the Fume Blanc Barrel High West, I would consider that 8.1 category. Like I said, very close. But the High West Manhattan Barrel just takes the edge for me, for my personal palate. Your guys' opinion might be different. I know Sugar Kitty has both these samples, so Sugar Kitty, let me know in the comments and let all the viewers know what your opinion is and what you would give these out of 10. And yeah, that being said, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new because it helps me a lot, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and you guys subscribing can help me make that difference. So tell your parents to subscribe. Tell your kids... Well, don't tell your kids to subscribe because, you know, they're not 21, but subscribe yourself. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell everyone you know, subscribe to the Bourbon Bar. And that being said, I'll see you all in the next class.